Top investment trends to watch in 2025. 2024 was a mixed year for equities, while fixed income and gold and commodities generally did quite well. 2025 has started off on a challenging note with global issues as well as domestic dynamics playing an important role. Let's go asset class by asset class. With respect to equity, you are seeing that 2024 was a good year for mid and small caps, with them having gone up by about 20%. However, as investors, you need to be careful that you don't follow the recent trend and continue to pile up there as earnings have started to slow down. If you look at earnings picture, earnings for 2024 were up by about 4.7%. And look for segments which promise better earnings going forward. There are segments of the market which are showing earnings growth estimates of about 15-16%. And those may be safer areas for investors to be in. On the international side, you do have global equity markets which have done about 20%. And therefore, there might be a little bit of a desire to chase the past returns. We need to remember that how global dynamics play out in terms of tariffs, trade wars, and how central banks deal with the trade-off between inflation and consumption will be an important element. India may have to deal with all of this as well. With respect to fixed income or debt, the year was generally good for fixed income investors as the 10-year G-Sec was relatively stable, ranging between 6.8% to 7.2% for the year. Inflation did see a pickup in the last part of the year, but there is an expectation that inflation will once again come under control by the third quarter of 2025 and come back in the 4% region, which RBI is most comfortable with. However, one needs to keep in mind that tariff wars and supply chain disruptions due to geopolitical events could actually create risks, and therefore investors who have a long-term view versus a shorter-term view may need different strategies as far as their debt portfolios are concerned. With respect to commodities, gold and silver had a spectacular year, and it's very tempting to chase that, though there is every chance that there will be a mean reversion that might take place. 2024 saw good returns getting generated for investors on the back of central bank buying, geopolitical tensions, and interest rate cuts by central banks. In 2025, while it's very tempting to participate in gold and silver because geopolitical risks continue, and the currency, which is that INR, could continue to be under pressure, we need to keep in mind that mean reversion does tend to happen across all asset classes. And therefore, as you look at 2025, sticking to your asset allocation is going to be key to success.
Disclaimers. Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing. Registration granted by SEBI, membership of Basel and certification from National Institute of Securities Markets, NISM, in no way guarantee performance of the intermediary or provide any assurance of returns to investors. The information is only for consumption by the client and such material should not be redistributed. The securities quoted are for illustration only and are not recommendatory. This material is for information and educational purposes only.